Our third speaker is Mrs. Julie Michel from EURID. She joined EURID in January 2017 as a legal counsel under Geo van Langenhoven's supervision. She started her career as legal advisor at the World Customs Organization in Brussels, and then joined the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development in London. She graduated from the University of Louvain in Belgium and holds a LLM in business law from the University of Montreal. Julie, you have the floor.
Thanks, Delia, for the nice introduction. First of all, I would like to apologize to Geo van Langenhoven, who couldn't come due to unforeseen circumstances. So I will be replacing him today. Okay, so I will present you the way EURID has implemented the WIS. EURID is the acronym for the European Registry for Internet Domains. It has been incorporated under Belgian law as a not-for-profit organization in 2003. That same year, it won the bid from the European Commission to organize, manage, and administer the .eu TLD, so as a CC-TLD, so country code top-level domains. Since 2015, we are also managing the .eu in Cyrillic, and I'm glad to announce you that from Q4 this year, we will be managing the .eu in Greek. So in 2014, we won the second bid organized by the European Commission. So our mandate to manage the .eu has been extended until the 12th of October 2022. EURID is composed of 11 members. Among them, we are glad to count ECTA, and we also have 4 other CC-TLDs, and the other members that you can see on the slides. So it's really important to remind that EURID is a country code top-level domain. So we are not like the generic top-level domains, for instance, the .com. We are really subject to our .eu regulations. So we are not subject to the ICANN regulations. The .eu is actually governed by the Regulation 733 and Regulation 874. The first one explains the way the .eu TLD has been implemented, and the second one laid down the public policy rules. What is one of the particularities of the .eu top-level domain is that as a registrant, if you wish to register the .eu, you need to meet our eligibility criteria. So from the regulation, in order to register the .eu, you need to either be a resident of the European Economic Area, or you have to have your organization companies established or registered under the EEA territory. However, this will change from October this year due to the applicability of the new regulation 2019-517. So European citizens based in third countries will be entitled to register a .eu domain name. So as a registry, we work with around 700 worldwide registrars. So that means that we do not offer direct registration services, but the registration are made through the registrars. Okay, so a bit more information about our WIS. So as you can see from the slides, our WIS is governed until the 13th October 2022 by this provision, Article 16 of Regulation 874, that states that the purpose of the WIS is to provide information about the points of contact administering the .eu domain names. The WIS should contain information about the domain name holder that is relevant and not excessive in relation to that purpose. So, as you can see from these slides, unlike most registries in the post-GDPR era, we keep displaying the email address of the registrant in our public WIS lookup facility. And this in accordance with Regulation 874, as you can see. So basically, for natural person, yes, you will be able to see the email address. For legal person, you will be able to see the email address, but also the organization. So the address, the phone number, and the name of the representative or of the natural person will not be accessible, but the email address will remain there. So this is an example of a WIS lookup facility. As you can see, this is the registration of a domain name by a natural person. And in the red box, you can see the email address of this individual. You can also see the language used by this registrant. And this registrant is actually our legal manager at EURID. So, as I mentioned earlier, we will be subject to this new regulation 2019-517 from October 2022. And the provision about the WIS database, which is wrongly called because it should be called the WIS lookup facility, will be the following. So it will say that the registry shall set up and manage a WIS facility for the purpose of ensuring the security, stability, and resilience of the .eu TLD by providing accurate and up-to-date registration information about the .eu domain names. The WIS database should contain relevant information about the domain name holder. The information on the WIS should not be excessive in relation to the purpose. So, as you can see, there is no significant change in this new provision. So in light of this article, we believe at EURID that we should keep, from October 2022, displaying on our public lookup facility the email address of the registrant. Because we believe that this way we could meet the accountability objective, but we could also meet the security, the stability, and the resilience objectives that are mentioned in the provision. However, we have to discuss with the data protection authorities. We maybe have to engage with them and follow any development that can happen until October 2022. But that's something that, we would like to keep doing because we really believe that helps the IP right holder communities, but also the law enforcement authorities and any other stakeholders. So we believe that from October 2022, we will have the same WIS lookup facilities displaying the same information. So how did we implement the GDPR at EURID, and in particular in the relationship with our accredited registrar? So this painting aims to illustrate the fact that all CCTLD registry have implemented the GDPR in a in various ways. Harmony in the CCTLD community is always very difficult to reach because every CCTLD, so the .fr, the .it, the .be, are subject to their national legal framework. So we had a lot of discussion in center before the entry into force of the GDPR, and it was really, really difficult to find an harmonized position. So some CCTLDs still display address of the registrant. Others do not show anything. Others will show the name of a natural person. So there is no harmonized approach. That's why we are really different from the GTLD community. So at EURID, since the beginning, our registrar agreement mentioned that we, as registry, act as a data controller of the personal data that we process in the context of the .eu domain name registration services. while our registrar that sell the domain names, .eu domain names, they act as processor of these data. But in this particular context of the .eu domain name registration services, because when they do provide hosting services or other additional services, they will remain the controller of the data that they collect for that purpose. So in compliance with our applicable regulation, our accredited registrar, they must provide to us complete, accurate, and up-to-date registration data. This is what we call a tick UIS. So all the data they collect from the registrant, they transfer them to us like exactly the same. We keep collecting the full set of registration data. Actually, we do attach a great importance to this principle because we believe that it aims to protect the interest of the registrant. One of the reasons is because the fact that we have all data, it enables the registrant to access to his data. So we have put in place from our website a special page where the registrant can log and have access to their data. So they can always check if their data are accurate, up-to-date, and correct. Also, we believe that it helps the registrant to protect his rights. So if he wants to transfer a domain name, he will connect to this page. If he has an issue, if there is an hostage of his domain name, he can always log to this page and see what's happening. The third reason why we believe it's important to still collect from the registrar the full set of registration data is because we do help law enforcement authorities in their identification process when in case of abuse, for instance. So only with the full set of data, we can help them. So that's an important thing to mention. So this may be of an interest for you, representative of right holders. So whoever who contacts the registrant, you can always log in. You can always go into our UIS lookup facility, and you will find the email address of the registrant. So you can always try it as a first instance to contact the registrant. So now you might wonder, yes, but how do you deal with registrar or with registrant wishing to hide personal information on the UIS? So basically, the registrar, they can decide from their own initiative or following the request from the registrant to mask the email address of the registrant that is available on our public UIS. They can do that. So they can provide us with an obfuscated email address or an email address that is not the original one. So they can use, for instance, not disclosed at privacy-protected.eu. But what they cannot do is they cannot provide us with an email address that is not the one they received from the registrant. So what we've done, because we had this issue where some registrars started to give us email address that were not original from the registrant, so we have put in place a mechanism that enabled them to provide us two email addresses about the registrant. One will be used for the purpose of the UIS database, lookup facility, and the second one will be used for our internal database. So the purpose is to always get the official and accurate and up-to-date information about our registrant. So this is an overview of the my.eu page. So as you can see, there is a section about the DNS quality score, which is the technical setup of a domain name. There is a section about the authorization code. So if the registrant would like to transfer his domain name, he will do it through this functionality. And then there is a section about information about the registrant. So if you want to access his data, they will be accessible to him. So we do believe that this aims the registrant to secure and to protect his information. So an important point to mention also is that for third party wishing to get information about a domain name holder, such as law enforcement authority or trademark agency or law firm, we have put in place a personal data disclosure form. So that is a form that is available on our website. So to us, the access to the data, and maybe unlike the ICANN community and the GTLD community, it should remain a case-per-case assessment. So we will basically provide information about a registrant to any third party that would have completed this form. But in this form, what we ask is, first, we ask the requester to confirm that he has tried first to contact the registrant via the email address that is accessible on the OIS. And we may also ask evidence of this kind of contact. And the second point is that this requester will have to demonstrate that he has a legitimate interest to get the registration data of the domain name holders. Obviously, the first condition is not applicable to law enforcement authority, because if they do contact in the first instance the registrant, this might interfere with investigation, and that may also be applicable to some like a trademark representative or IP representative of IP right holders. So this form, it works quite well, I have to admit. We do assess the legitimate interest on a case-per-case basis. And so far, we didn't receive any complaint about it. So we believe that this approach is actually proportionate, because personal data, it's really important, but it's not an absolute right. And we believe that it should be somehow balanced with the legitimate interest of the public, so the public interest itself. Also, besides this OIS implementation, I just would like to touch on the point that we are really committed to create a trusted space for the .eu domain name holders and for the internet user of .eu web pages. So how do we protect our registrant and the third parties against abuse? Basically, over the years, we have built a lot of relationship with various stakeholders. And we have also developed different kind of tools. So when you look at our OIS, you will see similar domain names that are available. So that's a way for you to give you an idea of what is still available and how close is it, or does it match maybe your trademark. We are very glad to announce that in May 2019 this year, so we have developed a project with EU IPO, which is called the EUTM notification. So basically, it enables applicants or representative of a trademark, but also trademark holder themselves, to be notified. So before, basically, when they do apply for a trademark, they can be notified before the validation of their trademark that the .eu domain name that is matching the trademark application, or that is very similar to this one, is available. So that may help them to register their domain name before anybody else. So then they could register the domain name before a drop catcher, for instance, because we have seen that a lot, that sometimes people with bad faith register domain name just after a trademark has been validated. There is a second component to this project, which is that basically we do receive on a daily basis at our premises information about the EU IPO trademark that have been registered. And what we do, this information is synchronized with the registration of the .eu top-level domains. And we do send a notification to EU IPO, but as well to any trademark representative that would have opt-in to these services. That's another way to build the trust and to create a good contact with the trademark representative. And we have put in place a WIS quality program. So basically, we do check on daily basis the registration data to make sure that there is no inconsistencies. And we do contact the registrant when we see something suspicious. So they will have up to 14 days to provide an evidence of the registration data. I will just last my presentation by mentioning our abuse prediction and early warning systems. There was a presentation yesterday by our CEO, Mark van Wezenmaal. So basically, we have put in place a system that helped to spot possible abuse and then to prevent them happening and to prevent the registration of the domain name. So if you would like more information about this, we will be pleased to inform you. I have to stop, I think, now. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Julie.